Hey everyone. Welcome back again on our session about AWS certification and today I'm going to share my journey also. So, welcome again and good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are located. So, thank you for joining today's stream. And as I mentioned the topic, I would like to share my own AWS certification journey. Not only the certification part, but how I reach here and how I prepared myself and what will be the helpful resources, which will be the mix of free as well as the paid resources you can use if you are planning to appear and prepare for the uh, exam. Good evening, John. How are you? It's been so long, like since we have any discussion. So welcome. So it's really exciting time for me also to share, to learn, so that maximum I can reach and I can share my experiences with everyone. So and I'm getting a good response from all of you. So again, thanks a lot. Let me share my screen as because I prepared a small presentation for today because today is not any demo heavy session. It is more or less on uh, the tips, tricks, and my preparation journey. And the same session I um, recently presented in AWS Meetup here in Singapore. So last month I got an opportunity, I got a slot to talk, and there I presented, and I got a couple of questions, which really very interesting to know, like how people think about the certification and all those world, right? So let me share. I believe, yeah. So if you are able to see my screen, so it's not only about like my five certification. I have seven AWS certification, but five this is specific which I have prepared in the span of 50 days. That is why I thought like how it will helpful for others to understand, and if you are planning and if you have a less time, how you can prepare for that. So little bit about me. So this is me playing with this snowball device. So I started my career in 2016 when I joined this organization, and it's a consulting company focused on the cloud migration and all those cloud native consulting consulting development work. So I started in 2016, and I have seven AWS certification. Apart from that, I have a couple of other certification from other cloud provider, and this is my YouTube channel address. Again, feel free to share it with your peers so that more and more people can be connected and we all will learn together. So coming to the point, like my journey before started, every day even I am getting that question, that what is the value of certification. That is truly, I would like to say, that is there are always the two kind of groups, people who are really fond of doing the certification. I am also one of that. In that group, people who are not interested or they don't see the value. So it is chicken and egg problem. There is no one conclusion. But I already dropped a one link, a recent podcast by Mike Pfeiffer, which is who is running that CloudSkills.fm. So I already published that link. I highly recommend to go through that, that podcast to get your query or your understanding about the value of certification. I'm not going too deep dive today, but truly, personally, I am the one of that, like who can say that yes, certification really bring a lot of value in my career, to push me ahead and lot of things, and it really helped me to do, to build my confidence, to boost myself to do more, to contribute more. It's not only about a work, but how your surroundings are reacting and how they are looking for their growth. You can be the part of the others journey, not it's only about your own journey. So I highly recommend, just have a look at that podcast. It's a maybe 40, 45, 47 minute podcast, but lot of answers are covered in a very well manner, especially about the using dumps. And now I believe that everyone should that hear that podcast. It's very good for the people the people who are having query like after certification how I will get job, or without an experience how will I can appear or prepare for the certification. Lot of things are covered. I will try to touch those points in my discussion today. So coming to my journey, like I started in 2016 November, and my company, because I'm learning cloud and playing with the cloud, it's since 2013 14, the year of 2013 and 14 when it was very new, and in my student life I was playing and trying to understand the basic and little bit thing. But when I got a job, so my organization, my leadership encouraged that as a basic, as a cloud focused company, everyone should achieve the minimum level of AWS certification. So I started, and in December 2016, I appeared for AWS SA Associate exam, and which I successfully passed at that time. Right. So that was my first ever AWS certification. Prior to that, I have appeared for the Microsoft Azure in 2014, and the GCP exams in 2015. So it was not a first the cloud certification, but first of AWS certification for my career. So I appeared, and then the thing started moving. I was started working and trying to understand. So then I planned to appear for the pro level certification, AWS SA Pro, in June. And I made my mind in May, but truly I would like to say the mindset was just only passing the exam, just clearing, because it's been only 6 to 7 months since I joined the organization, and trying to learn the things, trying to understand. But then I sat for the exam and I got my result, which was a big fail, because truly now I am feeling that, because at that time my mindset was just passing the exam, because I was joined the organization and I am trying to become over enthusiast, trying to showcase that yes, I know this, I know that, and without even getting the actual experience of that services, because I thought like, okay, I just need to read the scenario and pick the best one. But the things didn't went well at that time, and I was failed to even pass that exam. Then it was little bit of demotivation, because as a newbie in the industry, and having a very less experience about the actual IT, just only from the just only the mindset of passing the exam is was something like which hit me a very bad. And in the same time span, like in 2017, it happened a lot of time in front of customer, because I am into the consulting as well as the customer facing. So customer are coming with lot of queries. The queries can be lead to the same thing, but the query comes in a different way, because say IT people will ask in their query from more on the technology perspective. But if you talk or work with any C level executive, their query will be from the business level, but they would like to understand more on the technology aspect of like what it will bring to their business and all those things. I really got lot of, what I can say, the a good understanding and good kick to build my core strength, because those kind of things will not not covered in the associate level exam. Like if I compare it with the world of the discussion and the work, and with the exam, those things are not covered, because the real world is a real world, and exam is coming with its own specific syllabus. So it is giving me an opportunity to do the search from my own side, rather than every time putting a dependency on my the peers or the senior guys, senior architect who are working with me. So from there, like it started all thing, it started everything that I started building my the basics, and going through the day in and day out, going through the documentation, going through lot of videos, talking with the people wherever I don't understand. I try to really put queries in my internal peers, so that I will get an understanding, and then presenting and giving a walkthrough of a solution design is always something like which I need to handle in front of a customer, and the customers will come with a different kind of queries, which we it's my responsibility to satisfy them. So it was a bit hard time at that, because the mindset as a student, it was something that cloud is there, the agility, the ease of the things. But truly, trust me guys, it comes with a different level of complexity. I can give you example of a billing complexity. I personally have done lot of the detailed billing explanation, which took me maybe a weeks also, to understand about the customer bill and then to present, because it is something that it's not easy. Customer and the customer can ask a different queries, so you really need to prepare. And in 2017 this thing happened with me, and I really try to give my best wherever I can get a help. I really lucky, I can say that I got a help from a lot of people, even from the AWS local team, as well as my company, as well as the community. At that time I will start involving in the community part, right, which helped me to build a confidence to speak in front of people, to explain whether it's a basics or any advanced topic. Still I'm sticking with the fundamental and the basic part, because I believe if those are really strong, it will be easy and helpful to go to the next level, because fundamentals are always missing. We always miss that, because it seems like easy, but when the complex query or thing come into picture, that easy also become the tough one. I personally, from my experience, I found in such kind of scenarios, it happened with me a lot of time, that I thought, hey, I know this topic, but when the actual work came into picture, it is something like I missed lot of things. Then again I need to rework. Then I need to prepare my thing. So in 2017 it was like that, like I was struggling to understand. I got again opportunity in the different industry vertical. I have worked with the media customer, with the manufacturing customer, and you can say the even SAP migration. I was the part of lot of discussion from the pre-sales angle to understand about the SAP ecosystem. It doesn't mean that I become a SAP basis guy on the fly, but understanding and the listening is always a good thing than speaking, I believe. So it was a good learning curve at that time, and then I started exploring and independently discussing with the customer, and talking and sharing about what can be the the solution approach. After gathering the requirement, what can be the risk factor, what kind of things, or let's say network bandwidths and all those things are required from the customer side, or the prerequisite to adopt a cloud. And another time, at that time, it was a very new buzzword of microservices. Kubernetes was growing, right? So even the existing customers are asking, like they want to adapt that Kubernetes or the microservices architecture, and how we can migrate or build it from their monolithic architecture to the microservices. So lot of such kind of opportunity I got, and really I am very happy to do the such kind of work, because it always fascinate me. It always make me a next level of learning, because as I mentioned, being as a customer facing, I really need to prepare before my technical team come in into a picture. I am answerable person to on the call or in person meeting, or maybe some kind of this web calls. So I am trying to learn. Then some serious learning, I started putting more time on the learning from the exam perspective, right? So a couple of resources I will share, which I have used at that time to prepare the things to know. And I attended couple of in-person classes, not only for the AWS, but a couple of other cloud also. So I started exploring from my own. It is not that just only the discussion and all those notes help. Then I started playing with the things. I opened the multiple AWS account, tried to build the same. At that time, the GCP and Azure, I was not involved in 2017, because maybe from the I can say simultaneous learning can also lead to some different kind of confusion. So I don't want to put my hands everywhere. And other thing is, at that time, like, we were not involved in any kind of Azure projects. So I just aside that part, and I started learning GCP as well as AWS at that time, and trying to build, trying to explore the services, trying to put effort to understand from the documentation, especially because documentation is the best resource you will find available about the service and product. So it need time as well as some effort to learn, to understand. And then what happened, that I'm going through, I'm working, I traveled a lot in India. Like, I was stationed in the eastern part as well as the western part. My organization is based out of from the southern part, so I traveled in between all those three different zone and talk with the customer, trying to involve in a lot of projects to understand the migration journey, or maybe this the modernization journey. So all those things give me a lot of opportunity to learn. And then 2018 passed, 2019 I was involved, I was again learning, building a nodes, trying to explain, try to involve in more and more community. From 2018 into 2019, I was part of most of the local cloud meetup, again sharing my understanding, and wherever I got an opportunity to speak, and the part of the community to even organize the event. And then I got again a chance to move from India to Singapore, where right now I'm located. So in the same organization, I got promoted and got an opportunity. So this year, coming to the now the current part. So I got opportunity to be here before even that last year, because of a different kind of product, the projects I was thinking, because coming from the experience of customer handling, security is the most asked question, I can say, that I have answered to my customer at a different level. So from the day zero of my job to the till date, it is something like cloud security, whether my data is secure, how encryption will work, and all those things. Then I made my plan to appear for the AWS specialty security certification, rather than thinking about uh, any associate first, because there is no prerequisite now that we need to have a associate certification first and then we can go for the pro level. As in 2017 I failed at that time, I dropped my mind to appear. So again I rebuilt my mind to appear for the AWS certification, and then in July 2019 I appeared for AWS Security Specialty exam, and I successfully cracked that exam. Not from the scores perspective, but I believe I can say with the understanding of the scenario, because lot of those kind of things I am also answering and facing on a day-to-day basis. So that exam I found, you know, not, I can say again, the toughest one, but yeah, good competitive one to understand from the security mindset, not from the architect. But security comes not only with the AWS technology, but security itself a big vast topic. So I was reading, going through a lot of things, lot of discussions, and then putting a mindset that how AWS is solving that problem. So then again, the part of the big data, as I mentioned, that multiple projects. So the same customer is always like journeys from lift to shift, lift and shift. Once they are on cloud, they want to explore more cloud services. So the next phase came as an analytics. So again, with the same kind of same or existing customers, I got opportunity to work with their data warehousing, data lake, all those kind of reporting kind of projects, which helped me to build my understanding around the AWS big data services, which include EMR as well as Kinesis, and most of the part in the Redshift, as well as the visualization, not only with the QuickSight but Power BI as well as the Tableau. So there all these things started, and then I appeared for big data specialty in September also, which I successfully passed. But yeah, that was really a tough exam. That I can say that by passing that exam doesn't mean that I or anyone can become a super duper Hadoop expert or any big data. But yeah, it was a good test of understanding of like how the whole ecosystem is working and how you can design the solution around AWS services for this, for the analytics problem, right? And after that I was bit busy in the work, and then in December I got an opportunity because of the new year, holidays and all those things. I understand that the people will not in the mood of work, and then I got an opportunity. So it happened on the 10th of December that my boss told me that if you want to take a leave or holiday, you can. So at that time, that thing click in my mind, why not, like, let's study rather than roaming here and there, right? So on the same day I book a AWS SA associate exam for 17th of December, right? And then I, at that time, it was not that I will do the continuously I will appear for the exam, but at that time I was thinking that okay, let's maybe upskill and go let's go through the concepts again and appear for the exam. And I booked that exam, and then from that day I was started exploring again. I have not gone through any too big tutorials or any kind of thing. I just follow my previous notes as well as lot of bookmark documentation. I was going through the official AWS study guide and the what are the syllabus they are covering. From those those topic I will start building. I have a lot of resources from Pact because I have reviewed couple of books for them. So I just open my Pact account and see what kind of content they have. And it is something that it was a good reading for me. I just picked the services from the syllabus, and I was trying to learn from those topic where I feel I need to work out more, or which is not a day-to-day use, and what kind of updates are there, because again exams are not getting updated too frequently than the AWS services and features are releasing and upcoming. So I try to build around that, and then again I created a couple of accounts, try to put it as a AWS organization, how it will attach, how the again IAM, what kind of new features can make ease of work, but again not from the exam perspective, but the actual learning is that how this will work. Even now the AWS organization itself a very big service, I can say. From there you can put a lot of you know you can enable lot of services at that level, which will be inherited down to the whatever the child account, I can say. So this is how I am trying to play and create a one EC2 instance, which maybe it's not a creating a EC2 instance, maybe a 5 6 steps. It will take maybe 30 seconds to a minute, but going through each and every option, because while going through each and every option from the console, you will get some kind of tooltip or some kind of the documentation link to know about that service. That is, I believe, the best way I learned, like going through each and every option, putting a time. It's not because my end goal not was just to spin up a instance, because I'm not not planning to build any application or host any application, but to know about like what are the features, what are the new things are came, how those things are connected, and what is the value they are trying to deliver, right? Even giving example of the placement group was previously only a one type, right? It is something like only it is the instances will be will be reside on the same host. But now the instant placement groups are having a multiple of options with the multi different kind of logic. So it gave me opportunity to to understand where it will fit best and what kind of scenario. The same thing is with the billing side, right? Because billing topics are also covered in all of the exam, because the cost is also one of the well architect pillar, as well as the real world the customer requirement, because customer is always looking while after adopting cloud what kind of a return on investment they are going to achieve, and how quickly and how what kind of time will be involved. So billing is always like is a big part in the real world learning when you are into the consulting and as well as into the customer facing role. So I started going through the all these things and trying to play all the major services. Even the RDS come with lot of new things, right? So you need to know the basic are same, like you can create a VPC, you can create the subnet, public private routing, all those things. But how you are going to put, and how, let's say, from the Route 53 private hosted zone, right? How you can going to put and solve the RDS, CNAME, and all those things. I'm trying to build. I'm trying to learn. I just played. It took time for me to do all those things because, as I mentioned, that I'm not in the hurry to just click, 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 and solve the problem, but trying to see what changes are there, right? Because it's not that I stop. I even on a weekly basis, I started seeing I always open my console, trying to see like what feature again, what kind of services or something new. And again, I shared this multiple time that I'm not a super duper fan of a development or the coding. So WordPress is something a lifesaver for me. I try to put a WordPress blog, try to see that what changes, what more enhancement I can do, or something. Once I feel that okay, I have tried to understand that concept, I terminate the environment and maybe terminate all those nitty gritty services which I am used for that building that WordPress thing. So this is how I am trying to learn, and the same I followed so for preparing for the exam. And then I appeared on 17th morning for the AWS SA associate, and I cleared that exam. And then on that day, I again some lot of things were going into the mind. I was thinking that I can appear for two exams in a day also, like maybe again some kind of overconfidence came in my mind, that kind. But I try to make, because I'm just not planning to pass the exam. I am really looking that what kind of learning will be there. One tip I can say, that even exam can give you a lot of scenario which may maybe we have not faced, or which we will face in the real world. So so reading a question is also something like I found, hey man, really that can be also a possibility, maybe I'm not sure, right? So exam is take exam is as a fun way, rather than only just target to pass the exam. Maybe see the marks will, I believe it doesn't matter the person getting a 80% marks or a 100% mark. It doesn't make that 100% guy who a person who is scoring 100% is a too much intelligent than the 80%. I personally feel it is something that everyone's own mindset, understanding the experience, the learning, right? Even I know in my circle also people got maybe too good, or too good marks, but really when the actual thing come into picture to they are not able to even understand and answer. So there I believe that is a disrespect of certification, and there the people who are you know looking for dumps and asking like from where you can prepare, or you have any dumps, I highly recommend please stop doing all those things. It will not give you any long term benefit. It may be a one day, or a 1 week satisfaction that you pass the exam, and but in the actual world there will be not a big value for such kind of thing. So because as mentioned in 2017, my mindset was also the same, that I want to just pass the exam to to show that, oh man, I know this and that thing. But it didn't happen, I believe, and that was a very big thing or right thing happened in my career, that at that time I didn't achieve. And then from last 2.5 year, my mindset is getting changed. I'm getting lot of thing, and this learning automatically happen. It is not that I have put the day and night, or 8 hour in a day learning, that going through lot of tutorials and doing all those things. I have barely spent maybe 1.5 or 2 hour max in a day, to learn, to do, to going through the documentation, to again prepare the notes and bookmark the things, right? So that I know those are the big pointers around that service. I really need to have on tips, and a lot of things again come with the delivering the project, understanding from the customer side, giving the solution walkthrough, maybe the troubleshooting, because let's say if any kind of support query come into picture, I am also involved in that, and to going seeing like what kind of approach my team is taking to solve that problem. So those kind of things really help me to prepare. So the same happened with the developer. I appeared for the developer associate exam on 24th, and then for the practitioner, because I believe it's not that, for that I have not studied anything because it's a day-to-day job. So on 27th I appeared for the practitioner, or 26th December or 27th December I appeared for the practitioner, and then I appeared for the this thing sysops on 29th or 30th December. Yeah, so these 3 4 exams I covered in just a span of 2 weeks. And it is something like I was going through the whole documentation and lot of things. Especially I can say Reddit is the helpful place I found, right, for preparation of these exams. It's not that Reddit is offering tutorials and this thing, but I will show that you will find a lot of real scenario. Especially I'm pointing to the people who say that, okay, I have done certification, what project I can do, or I don't have any experience, I want to do something, what I can do. I believe the Reddit is the the place where you will find lot of problematic statement, and then you put your learning and your experience, and then think that how, what will be your approach, you can solve this, and how, if you are in that situation, you are going to solve this. So I am putting myself at such kind of places to figure out, because those kind of problems people are facing really, right? It's not that again following a one, maybe 20 hour or 30 hour of video tutorial you will get, or we all will get everything. It is something that how realistically we can convert our learning into the experience, and how we can try to help to solve the problem. So then this happened, and I cleared all those 4 exam. Even I created individual videos for all those exam, which the link I already put in the description of even this stream and video. You can refer if you want to know about the each exam topic, and I'm trying to cover the information without breaking any NDA, like what I can deliver. So if you are planning to appear for sysops or practitioner, as well as the SA associate, which is going to update this month, but just I shared my experience about that. And after that, again, a new year happened. I took some break, and then again I made my plan that, okay, I believe now I have that confidence that I can appear for SA Pro. And that was the time when I back from the break, and I again booked my exam for 29th of January, because of uh, before that, due to the Chinese New Year, I got bunch of holidays. So I thought that let's appear for the exam for the pro this time, and let's try that how I will learn from my last, that from my last failure, and how I can really tackle that exam. So for that, really, again, I started learning again, building the things. I can say, just giving you for the associate level, you may need a understanding of one VPC, and inside that, let's say 4 or 6, 2 3 private subnet, 2 3 public subnet, a route table, and all those things with the internet gateway and the net gateway and all those things. But for the pro level, what I have done, I created the 3 different VPC, right? And I am trying to prove or to learn that, okay, my web tier will be in this VPC A, my app tier will be in VPC B, and my RDS will be in VPC C. And only like VPC B can talk with C using the pairing, and A can talk with B. I'm trying to simulate that kind of scenario, and trying to do this advanced level of networking, and then lot of this private link, private endpoint. I'm trying to cover from that angle, that, okay, my my static data need to be reside on the S3, and it need to be served from the cloud front. And then a cloud front support both static and dynamic content caching. So I found a lot of good post on the AWS documentation, how we can accelerate the WordPress content caching, which include both dynamic as well as the static content. So I try to build. I really put a lot of things. Lot of time I failed. Maybe a lot of concepts were missing, or I was doing a lot of mistakes in building all those things. But I put like 2 to 3 days every day trying to do where I have left, and then going through the documentation, like all those things. So because that creation of multiple VPC and putting all those, EC2, peering, RDS, load balancer, all those things, it is covering the whole, I can say, the major topic, which will be, I believe, covered in the exam at that time. And then another thing which really helped me, it is something that my 2 3 year, the working journey. Because if I can say that storage gateway is a service where, 1 out of 10 or 1 out of maybe 50 we will get a chance to play. But luckily I got a chance to play with one of the, the customer project about the cache gateway and all those things. And then the snowball, I played since 2016. When I joined, I saw the first 50 TB snowball as well as the 100 TB, 80 TB one. Snowball Edge, I have not played, but because it doesn't come in any kind of requirement till date for at least the customers which I am handling. But I got a lot of such kind of learning, especially with the Oracle to Redshift migration. There I got to know about a lot of data guard, Golden Gate, RAC. Lot of such kind of learning really helped me to prepare and appear for the exam, as well as to build my own confidence. And the same thing I was following to do, because trying to build the same thing, see where I am feeling, what kind of solution or what kind of approach I need to take, or what steps I am missing. Because creating a one VPC is a one thing, creating a three VPC connected, and you need to make sure about the routing. And then I have a EdgeMax router installed at my home. So I was trying to create the, the tunnel part, because VPN is just a easy to do than the direct connect. Direct connect I have also done in my work experience, so I understand about the public WIF and private WIF. For the VPN, I try to build the thing and try to simulate where I am failing, right? In that regard, I have followed not again the big, but a very specific topic focus courses from Plural Site having a good courses around the services. So I try to learn it from there and try to build. And then again the practical, doing the practical stuff, figuring out where I am missing the thing and troubleshooting, and then rebuilding and putting the effort, going through the documentation, it helped me. And then I appear for that exam. And really this time I found that I was, while sitting in the exam, I was really reminding the day, when I appeared in 2017. I still remember that I took the whole 170 minute on that day, and because I can say a non-experience and over enthusiastic, I did a lot of things at that time. But this time I have completed, I have gone through the exam, and this time the time is also 180 minute. So I go through the exam around 130 minutes, all those question, reading, whatever, doing, trying to understand, trying to simulate the scenario. Because I got up to, that paper and pen. I just try to build my VPCs and those kind of imagination, that okay, and I'm trying to reading the question, trying to simulate on that pen and paper. This is, the flow is going. This is how the VPC according to the question, and what option, what logic can fit best. It is not right or wrong. Looking for the best of best answer. So I try to put my learning there and try to connect. And really at that time, when once I submitted, because I submitted in, I believe, 160 minutes only. I took again a one round of review, and I submitted, and after that I got a result. And a few hours later I got my scorecard and all those things. So this was the overall thing. Like, I let me go through the PPT, another thing. And yes, so the certification level, because the associate, I can say it's a wide, it is covering lot of topic but not too deep topics. Let's say even the EC2 itself a big branch of study, but not every service or not every part of EC2 is covered in associate level. Specialty level is a focus on that area around like the big data. There you really need to know about the DynamoDB and Redshift, and especially the EMR. It's not that you need to know that what kind of or how many framework EMR supported, but you really need to know the major one, that what are the purpose of those framework and how it is working and connected with the other, like Hive is connected, can be easily connected with DynamoDB, and all those things need to be understandable. And the professional is the mix of both. Topic area is a very wide and deep. Even the VPC part, which is covered in the associate level, is not that deep. Then the professional level, I have not appeared for the networking one, which I am planning in couple of months, but I believe the professional level solution architect exam is covering the VPC topic, the networking topic, the security, the the big data, the data migration, all those topic very well in a very good scenario. So it is the whole, from the whole the exam journey and the question, it's all about, I believe, imagination plus your learning knowledge, right? So I am always taking, like, it's not that I need to read everything quickly. It is because time constraints were there. Even in the pro level essay exam, like first 10 question, I took around 32 minutes or 33 minutes somewhere. Then I was really getting that feeling, oh man, I think it's really tough, I'm not going to make it, that kind of negative thoughts, I can say this, it started came in my mind. But after that I found couple of questions which I try to cover in maybe 30 to 45 seconds. Maybe I am pretty sure at that time, okay, this is the scenario, this is the thing, okay, this is the best thing, let's move. So then I try to cover up my time, and then I submit my exam before even utilizing the full time. So make sure, like, you need to know about like the certification for which you are going, what are the focus area, what kind of things you can expect, and then try to prepare around that topic. So another few tips. Again, this is a big problem with me also, and I found with a lot of other people. Like, there are too many resources available on web. So I highly recommend to suggest with the one. It is not that the best of best. Even I'm getting a lot of such kind of queries that they want, like, a people is looking learning from three different places, and at the end they fail to even pass the exam. I know, I interacted with even such kind of folks, that they have gone through three different big courses for associate, and at the end they are not even to clear the exam, because I believe it's just a mindset thing, and it will create a confusion. Even personally, I have used Linux Academy back in 2017 and a Cloud Guru, because my company is having that subscription. I have used that, but in this time, because I don't want to put too many gaps, it's just I created my mind, I want to test even myself, like how far I can stretch. So I have not refer all those big courses, but I have watched that they have really a good content. But I suggest go with the one thing. As this point of time, I am very heavy user of plural site. I'm going through a lot of content, lot of courses. It may happen that multiple courses versus a single course focus on the exam, but it's up to you. My suggestion is, don't confuse, don't put yourself in too long going through the same kind of content, and it will create a confusion. Better put that time to prepare something for you. Pick a problem from maybe Stack Overflow, Reddit, all those things. Be a good searcher, not only on the Facebook or Twitter, but be a good searcher on web, and try to figure out the problem statement. Try to put your scenario. It doesn't mean that we need to solve from end to end, but the approach matters a lot. If you know, it will give a confidence that yes, you can solve the problem, and this is how this service is related with this thing. The same with without practice, there is a no point to appear for exam and getting certificate. It will be a maybe a 1 week kind of happiness, but not a long term goal. So don't do such kind of thing. Try to open. Free tier is there. Even the free tier, I can say everything covered for the whole. This 50 days journey. I have spent maybe less than $10. I'm telling you, and I use most of those free tier services apart from that MLAI related, because that is not my focus area for the exam and for the learning and for the work. But from the infra perspective, you really need to know how to use, because it's not that you need to put up beefy machines for that, but T2 micro is a very good to know. Even you can put a 10. Even I have created maybe 100 T2 micro machine instances using the CLI. That is the power of CLI, right? The same you can do it from console, but I just tested the CLI thing, whether yes, how this can tweak, how from the region to region the AMI ID vary. So a lot of learning will happen, and even opening a support case is also a learning, right? I will show you maybe my AWS account in a couple of minutes. So, but try to build something. If you are non-coding background, maybe put some kind of multiple Linux machine, and with the this front end and the back end, and try to put the WordPress installation of WordPress is available on endless blog post. So just refer that, try to build, but focus your learning around the service, how the each part is working and connecting together. So that I believe is the important part. So here, couple of resources: Reddit. Let me open the Reddit part also. Let me see that how I can share the screen of Reddit, because Reddit is something, if you know how to use it, that is a gold mine. So here I am on Reddit. I have not signed in intentionally. So I am at this subreddit of AWS, right? Make sure you just join the group. Again, it is not that you need to solve every problem and response it. If you feel confident that yes, this can be the solution, you just post in the answers also. I am also trying to do the same, but you can see here the another, like maybe someone who is playing with the data migration services, they put their learning, and it is it can be helpful for someone who is exploring that service. The same with, you can say, the problems are there, right? So this is something that you need to go through. You will find, maybe just scroll down lot of things. You will find lot of things which is related to your work, or which will somehow will come into picture. And while preparing, while learning, it will surely helpful for you to understand where this can fit and how you can solve. And another is like it's a contribution. If you already gone through such kind of scenario, and you have solved in your way or in your approach, you can share. Maybe it will be helpful for 10 different people who are facing, or who are maybe going to face that kind of problem. So Reddit, I found, is some in that way is the best place. I found I'm following all this from last couple of years, and I'm very fond of going through and scrolling and checking like what kind of things. Maybe simply giving example even about the free tier for the new region, like which is started in opened in Middle East, right? Few tweaks are there for the free tier if you want to spin up your resources in that region. I found it only from, like, there was some query, I answered it. On my answer, someone answered about that thing, which is really itself, because maybe it is possible that I'm not bother about that region, and I can feel, or we can feel, yeah, okay, free tier is available same for for the every region, and like that, right? But then from that point answer, I just check the documentation, and yeah, it is a new learning, a new thing which I found. And then it happened, the customer asked me what about the middle tier, if they want to host or something. So there I was able to answer in a right manner, that yes, this is maybe we need to do in this way, or something. So just try. It's not that you need to solve every problem. It is something you need to at least imagine, problem solve in your mind, and the pen and paper, or maybe in your account if you feel that you can do it and you can share it with the community and peers. Another channel I found, I used this channel, and he's a good friend of mine also. So lot of good videos around AWS. You can see a lot of very well explained about the private link, about the Aurora, about the reservation, and the different kind of EC2 options like a dedicated host and all those things. I highly recommend, just have a look, just understand. I really you know encourage the people to learn from each other rather than waiting and focusing only on the one resource, and not a long resources, right? A different topic, everyone has their the way to explain the thing. So I found, so Knowledge India channel is doing a very good job. So just have a look. And another thing, if you are planning for the architecture, if you are very experienced, and you are planning to come into the AWS world, and you have the basic AWS knowledge and understanding and experience, this is the another gold mine. You can explore the series name, This Is My Architecture. This is the whole the playlist on the AWS YouTube channel. You can see the different product owners, or they are giving a walkthrough about like how they are utilizing the different services, and how it is they are solving their problem, and what kind of problem statement. It's a very small videos. I usually watch while I am traveling. I pick the videos, what kind of thing I need to learn, and I will try to understand from the service or the architecture walkthrough. So these are the things which really I highly recommend. And with that, I have completed my presentation, and I'm open for any question answers. And if you have any kind of query, or if you're planning, we can go through. Okay, just a one quick walkthrough I want to show for this. So make sure you everyone have the AWS account. Even just try to explore the things by creating a support case. It is itself a good kind of experience. You need to know that in the real world, if you really need to open a support, like what kind of steps you need to follow. I requested for creating a limit increase, because for that you don't need to have the business support or the the paid tier. It comes in the free basic support tier, and the method is via even the mail or chat. But I just put, I want that my this account become the master account or the organization root account, and I can, by default there is a limit to attach 4 child, like the total is a 5 account can be listed or can be connected at a single point of time. But but that is a soft limit. I want to increase it, so I did, and I got the increase to attach a 50 account. So I have created the multiple account hierarchy. I just started putting the things, couple of things which I am running, and I just try to explore from that, like what can be the thing, what can be the joined account, what can be the created account. And from the policies part, it come into picture that yes, how you can put the policy which it need to be inherited and followed in the child account. So these kind of learning, this small learning will really help to create the things much smooth and much easy way. So I highly recommend going through such kind of things, and try to prepare, try to learn, try to share. If it is not working, no concern. You can rebuild the things again, use a free tier. Don't try to put yourself in 10 different resources. It can be everyone have a different kind of experience from their own learning way. For someone, platform A learning is much better than platform B, platform C, or something. So but pick one, make your mindset, and then put a target date. That is the important thing. If there is no target date, if it is an open item, then surely the confidence will not be there. You need to put a target then, and then you need to put the efforts to to learn to if the deadline is there, our mind really start working. I found like that. Even with the pro exam, I put like the deadline, then I think that okay, now these are the resources, what maximum I need to do, how I can really you know, nail down those kind of concepts where I feel I need to put more effort, what kind of timeline I have. Again, learning 8 hour a day just before 2 days of exam will not make any way, a good learning. This is my own, again, personal experience as I'm sharing, right? Try to do maybe 30 minutes a day also can be. If you are a newbie, 30 minutes a day, pick a one topic, pick a one video from YouTube, from, if you have any premium resource or platform available, pick a one topic, try to learn, build some, create some notes, try to do from the documentation also, again, because those courses are not getting updated every day, right? Exam is a one part. It's not that it's the end of world if you just, completed the exam. But the path, the roadmap is always like, the continuous learning, because cloud is evolving in a big way and the features are coming, lot of new features are coming every day. So try to put yourself in such kind of scenarios where you really need to, work and understand, and how, for the experienced people, how you can leverage your own existing experience, and how you can map it with the cloud way. Something like, try to imagine. Imagination is bigger than knowledge. So first imagine, then try. Once you not get a result, because the cloud is working in a, a thumb rule of build fast, fail fast. So there is a no, you know sadness or regret that feeling in the way, because the more quickly you will get the feedback, I believe the more quickly you can improve yourself and put the, you know the required amount of effort to achieve that thing. And then certification will become, the easy part, because if you have a confidence, if you really worked on that service, you will be able to answer. Okay, couple of questions that, after completing the certificate, how we get the job? Again, it is a very chicken and egg problem. Certification is not the end of, the end of world. First, if you build the experience, I believe certification can give you an opportunity to appear for interview, or it will give a priority, because the companies are also looking the people who really put a effort. It's the certification, doing a certification in a proper way is showing that you really put a effort to achieve this, right? If you are not putting effort, using some kind of, these dumps and all those things you are doing, maybe in the interview you can, get selected in an interview, appear for the interview, but maybe in just maybe two questions you will be out. This is again a true experience with me also, right? Even I took multiple interviews, the people who are having certification, but really from the realistic world, maybe in a one or two question they are really struggling to answer. So after completing the certification, one thing you need to really first know, like, what you want to do, what kind of organization you want to work, whether, the cloud focus, the product based companies, or the service based companies, what kind of industry. According to that, you need to plan your, job search journey. It is not that just, doing the certification will make the things happen. It will only give if you, prepare a right strategy. Just figure out what are the location, are you willing to relocate, what kind of industry, what kind of companies are there, what kind of growth even there are, those, companies are endorsing the continuous learning. You need to really know. You can figure it out from the, the peers who are working by connecting with them on LinkedIn, and all those things are there. So use the web properly, you will get your answers easily. And it is not that you need to, seeing people are there who don't fond of certification, but they are at a, a very good level, they are doing their work happily, they are contributing the things. So it is something that you personally, you can answer first to yourself, that what you want to do. According to that, the things will start getting right. So without AWS experience is something that, without means, you really need to think the Reddit is the source. You can go through, you can learn from yourself, you can build something for yourself, maybe your own online portfolio, maybe a WordPress blog or your portfolio, and then how it can be converted. Or if you don't want the WordPress part, maybe a serverless portfolio. So while you will prepare, you will get your experience, and that experience that you need to present in the interview, that this is really you have done, and this is how you have achieved, this is the troubleshoot or things you faced while learning. So that is itself a experience. Experience is not some way that someone give you the written that experience. It doesn't make any sense until unless you will not try from your side, right? Karthik is asking, how does someone build experience outside of current work to unable to transition into DevOps? Again, it is something that from your existing experience, okay, because you don't want to touch your production environment, but try to simulate again, not the same code or same application, but just the thing how you are following, what you can do. You can, DevOps is itself a big field. It's not only about the technology, it's a lot of mindset, process, people, lot of things come under that. But you need to make your mindset, you need to understand, again, the reference and the success stories. Try to build it from your side, and then if you will get back to your organization or to the project or product owner, that this is, if we adapt, AWS, this is our current landscape, and this is how it will benefit for overall productivity, efficiency, cost, and all those things, then I believe that will be the best way to achieve and something from your existing experience. First, you put the effort to learn from your side, and then you try to contribute to the improve the efficiency of your team, the productivity. You will get the result ultimately like that, right? It is not that if you are not following this, and or your current project approach is not this, and until unless someone from the product team or from the project team will not say that you need to learn this, things will not work. It's again a continuous own learning, own interest, and the efforts, and then those effort you need to convert into the realistic scenario with your team. This is how with me also, lot of things which may I am also not able to understand at a first glance, but my seniors are always helping me. I'm really thankful to my leadership team who are giving the opportunity, that kind of environment to learn. So I ask the question that this is not, this is what I understand maybe, but I'm not able to achieve the thing. How should I do? Again, from the customer also you can learn. That is another thing. Again, I'm saying now I'm into the customer facing. So customers, they're the people who are on that side also. They are also experienced in their their journey. So I always try to ask the question that, hey sir, yes, I understand, okay, AWS is something that, but from your experience, how this can be possible? Because maybe I'm not a Java guy, I'm not a Node.js guy, I'm not a 10 different language guy, maybe, but from their experience, it is another part of another type of learning. You can have a a good tech talk with your customers also to understand that, yes, this is what I am thinking, this is what you, and maybe from there also a new business statement, a business problem also come, which jointly with your customer, with your team, you can solve, and things will start happening. So this is the approach I preferable to go with, to to be a good communicator. Technology or technical things come always secondary, but if you try to communicate your message in a proper way, then the learning will be there, lot of roads will be open, right? So I highly recommend to go through the podcast. The link is already given in the description to clarify these kind of question from the the different industry veteran who are having like 2 to 3 decade of experience. They really covered very well about the value of certification and how not to prepare for certification, right? I'm trying my best to share like whatever I have learned, but it's just a start, and every day I'm learning from the different people, and I'm trying to share whom I am interacting, and if I'm getting a query, I will try my best to share in the best way whatever I have learned. Right. So with that, all right, guys, thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Please feel free to subscribe to this channel and share it with your peers. I will try to put more and more topic. And if anyone is, interested to share their journey, I am very happy to, schedule a session with them. So take care, guys. Happy weekend. Bye bye.